prior to the opioids, and then after the opioids, we can learn from that. So with repeated people that come in on a repeated basis, we have some track records to compare and notice this looks different this time, suspicious, things like that, or seems to fit the pattern, and possibly more advanced metrics if you have adding to it blood pressure. I'm thinking that if the cells get sticky and the perfusion is affected, then possibly the heart's having to pump harder, so heart rate's elevated, blood pressure's elevated. So having blood pressure from a different sensor and then having a advanced smartwatch with some of the features I described, and then also looking at the sleep patterns and changes in that, I do think with some good, cloud analytic data tools, you probably could put something together that would be useful, would be, my guess. Be a fun project to explore anyway, but I think maybe there's a shot. And again, if you know the context and you can have it calibrated to the individual, not just across a population, but if there's some type of calibration to the individual, then it can be, of value. Any feedback on all that discussion?
No, I'm listening and taking notes. This is great. It gives us a lot of food for thought. This is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, what I'm just thinking along of developing the app. What you could actually have them do is on a daily basis, you could have them report their pain level, and then you could take the biometric data. So you're actually building your library of learning. And it's okay, user reports this much pain, and we get this kind of resting heart rate, we get this kind of, other conditions, this kind of blood pressure. So if you can collect that, now they don't know what's happening, but you're actually building in the reference, and it's well, hey, you told us this is what your pain was, and these are what your biometrics are, so now you're telling us your pain is different, but your biometrics haven't really changed that much. So if you can start to correlate the user's rating of their pain and the biometrics, then you've got something pretty powerful.
Yes, no, this is great. Just taking some notes. Perfect. So, no, this is great. A lot for us to follow up and explore. In terms of the ER, the emergency room environment, I think if we explore some of these ideas and pull them through, that could be super valuable and helpful, and could also be of value to the healthcare system, overall, right, and payers as well, since potentially could eliminate or decrease necessary ER visits, through the utilization of this technology. But as we're thinking about patients that do come to ER, and they only come to ER. They don't really go into routine care to their, a specialist for routine treatment. That compliance patient that will only show up in ER. Those are the patients that we're hoping to capture somehow, with the hopes of getting them into the healthcare system so that we could provide. Get them in, right? They could start going to their physician